Thanks for your company. We are live from our Kokomlemle studios on DSTV channel 421, Go TV channel 144, around the world at myjoyonline.com and on our social media platforms. Now, the death toll in the Akyem Batabi church building collapse is 22 as rescuers continue to comb through the rubble as they search for trapped persons, whilst relatives wait anxiously for news of their loved ones. Hope is gradually fading as a strong stench begins to emanate from the rubble. NATMO Director of Inspectorate Richard Amoyate says they've stopped the use of machines and are currently using sniffer dogs as the mop-up rescue for the mop-up rescue operation. Adom FM's KWASI Azor joins us on phone. He is at the scene. So, KWASI, tell us what is happening now, especially with the use of the sniffer dogs.
Abu, you can hear me. I'm currently at Batabi now. After the briefing, we've also noticed that now they have stopped the operation of the excavators and the bulldozers. Now they are using the dogs to search the dead bodies of the people who are trapped under the collapsed building. This is what is going on currently at the Batabi in the eastern region, across the constituency. All right,
paint a picture to us. What exactly these dogs are doing?
Well, the dogs are there. I mean, sniffing at the collapsed building where the building was collapsed. And they are looking for the people, the trapped people under the collapsed building. They want to find whether they can get more bodies or they can retrieve more bodies. The excavator worked throughout the night yesterday to now, and the dogs are continuing with the search, whether they can find more bodies under the collapsed building.
When we spoke earlier at 10 a.m. on News Desk, you mentioned that some relatives were still looking for their trapped relatives. Is that the situation?
Yes. Some of the relatives are there. They are screaming and looking for whether it's a dead body or whether it's their relative or whether they are looking for their family members, screaming and screaming. They say they've been to the morgue, they've been to the hospital, and they are not there. So basically, they think that maybe they are under the collapsed building. So currently, I can cite two of them there looking for their relative. They are crying, screaming here. If you get to them, they say no, they can't talk. They won't talk, but they are screaming there. I can see them now.
Must be a really difficult scene to be reporting from, KWASI.
Come again.
I'm just saying that it must be a really difficult scene to be reporting from.
Yes.
Well, thank you for the updates. KWASI Azor is Adom FM correspondent in the Eastern region, and he's been furnishing us with details since news of this building collapse broke. Let's now hear from the Director of Inspectorate at NATMO, Richard Amoyate.
We have invited you here this morning for update number 4 on happenings at Akyem Batabi, where a church building has collapsed. At our last update, we informed you of the dog toll. After that, we continued with the search and rescue. Like I said, we're going to search everywhere until the last body or the last person has been found. And we continued throughout midnight. And at exactly 11:30 p.m., we discovered a body. That is the body of a baby girl who was estimated to be about 2 years old. So that brought the total number, the death toll, to 22. We have 10 male and 12 female. And the breakdown of the female is 11 adults and then 1 child. That is a baby girl estimated to be about 2 years old. Then in the course of the search through the rubbles, we also found 2 vehicles that had been crashed under the We'll be following the collapse of the structure. So at about 1:30 a.m., that is this morning, we ended the search and rescue, and then at exactly 6 a.m. this morning started the mop-up. The mop-up, as I speak now, is currently ongoing. We have stopped the use of machines, and we have introduced sniffer dogs to sniff around, see if there could be traces of anybody. So like I said, we are committed to recovering everybody and saving every life. That's it. We will continue with this exercise until we are absolutely certain that there is nothing to look for. So we are still working, and we are now mopping up the exercise.
Yesterday we saw a woman there.
When it comes to the identification of the persons we have found, the police is handling that. We have recovered bodies. They've been sent to Adan Government Hospital. They've been confirmed dead. Those who want to identify relatives have to contact the Ghana Police Service for the necessary procedures to be followed.
And concerning
we recovered 11 adult females and 1 baby girl. So the mother could be one of the 11 adult females we recovered. So that is the thing. We don't know any baby, we don't know any mother. Okay. All we know is that we recovered 11 adult females and 1 female child.
Away from the eastern region, the Ashanti Region Police Command says it's closing in on suspects of 2 separate shooting incidents in KWASI within this week. The first incident on Monday involved a man in his late 30s who was shot dead at a friend's home after being robbed of money he took from the bank. A day after, a Chinese was shot in the arm by an unknown assailant, causing panic among residents and workers at Ahojo in KWASI. Regional Police Commander COP KWASI MENSAH DUKU says the suspected assailants will be arrested in no time. He spoke on the sidelines of a security route march in the KWASI metropolis.
Very serious view about what is happening, and we started with an investigations, and we have gone far, and hopefully I believe that in the next couple of weeks ahead of us we'll be able to get those who have been committing those crimes in KWASI. We have enough evidence, some suspects, but you know I cannot disclose the identity now, but just want to assure you that we are very firm and strong on the ground, and very soon you'll hear from us.
Are we talking about specific issues or incidents, or all of them in generality?
No, but you just mentioned, I'm talking about the recent incident, and those who committed those incidents. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
So the recent 2?
Yes, and we have got enough evidence about those who committed those crimes, and we are on them, and hopefully soon you hear from us. But we are in Ashanti region, 47 constituencies. And I believe that relatively the region is calm. You ask for the crime, you cannot run away from crime. Once a while it will happen. But it is the way Amana will handle the situation that will determine the effort of the police, the services. So today preparation is even part of it. So it's an assurance that we are giving to you that before, during, and after the elections, everything is going to be all right. So thank you very much.
The head of the Ashanti Regional Security Council and Regional Minister Simon Osei Mensah encouraged residents to volunteer information to help the police deal with crime. He assured security agencies will ensure the protection and anonymity of all individuals who do that.
The criminals are with us. They live with us and they live among us. When you have any information, please don't hesitate to volunteer the information to us, and we will give you maximum protection. And whatever information you give to us will be kept as secret as possible. It will not be divulged. But as I've always made an appeal, when you volunteer information to us, please keep quiet. Don't go around and be telling people COP, DUKU, do know this or say MENSAH, this 2 know or say MENSAH. Give yourself maximum 1 week, you will be arrested. If you do that, then you are exposing yourself to serious risk. Just keep quiet, allow the security agencies to work on whatever information you've given them. They will first of all have to test the authenticity of the information and also react appropriately. Some of them, they might need to put surveillance on people for a long period and get the basis for the arrest. It's not just that you inform, let's say, the police today that MENSAH is organizing to cause violence maybe in a particular vicinity or something, then MENSAH is arrested. They should get the basis for which they can do the arrest. And some of them can take some time. Some can take days, some can take weeks, others will take months, etc. So when you give the information, give them time to work on it and also keep quiet.
Now, the family of Ruth Love Quayson, one of the missing Takoradi girls who was later declared dead by the police, says they've abandoned the idea of conducting an independent DNA. The family says it's not surprised about the outcome of forensic DNA test on some skeletal remains. This follows revelation from laboratory scientists investigating the remains that were retrieved from a septic tank at Kasarodo. Superintendent Dr. Kofi Ejapon-Afrifa, who was part of a team that conducted the DNA test, said the human bones that were retrieved during investigations perfectly matched the samples of family members of the girls. Well, family of Ruth Love Quayson says they are not surprised about this development.
We are not surprised because even last year when we went to the police headquarters in Accra, we asked the forensic test, the doctors some questions, but they couldn't answer any of the questions. And also we requested for our own private DNA. We were not given that opportunity. So I'm not surprised at what they are saying. They've already determined and made their mind to close the case or end this issue. So they are doing what possible best to end this issue. But we are still praying to God. We know that our girls are alive and one day they will surely come home.
So has the family given up on your independent DNA tests?
Of course, when we asked in the initial stage, we were not given the opportunity. So it's like me sitting with you and you are preparing some food, and I asked you to give me the food. You never gave me that. When I went back home, you are now bringing the food to me for me to take it. Do I know what you're putting it in the food? So for now, if they give us the samples, we will not conduct any DNA test.
Interesting. But tell us how you've been coping. Do you still hold on to that view that your sister is still alive?
Of course, we know that they are still alive because we have a strong feeling and we'll be having a dream about them. So we know that they are still alive. It's unfortunate that she found herself in such situation, but we know that with God, all things are possible, and we are still looking up to Him that He will show us His self-glory. So we believe that she's still alive.
And Anaja, you said you've been dreaming about your sister. Do you mind sharing details of the dream, if you don't mind?
Yeah, I think 2 months, it's not even up to 2 months. My mom had a dream that a certain young guy came with him and said he saw him around KWASI, but he was not, he didn't know where she was from at that moment. So he asked him where she was from, and she told him that she's from Takoradi, blah, blah, blah. So the guy brought him, but when she came, nothing shows that, like, she was okay, just that she has moved a little bit sleep, but she was okay. So we have a strong belief that the girls are alive, they will come.
Earlier, when we spoke to you, when this case started in court, your family was concerned about the rate at which it was progressing. Are you comfortable now?
Oh, as for the comfortability, we are in some way, but in another way we are not. Even with the family, we were not even aware that yesterday there was a court sitting. I knew it was on Monday and Tuesday, but I never knew that even yesterday we went to court. So we are still looking up to God. We cannot put our trust in them again because they disappointed us once because of the certain information that even we got around, we gathered around, we gave this information to the security agency, expecting them to work on it, but it couldn't be so. As I'm speaking to you there now, the CID and those some of the policemen who were involved in this issue have been transferred. So now we don't know where they are. They've not brought to book for some questions. So we are looking up to God.
This is your election headquarters. Time to bring you election-related news. President Akufo-Addo has ended his two-day tour of the OT region with a call on residents to consider his work in the first term and give him and the NPP 4 more years in government. Some key promises for the people in the OT region are the construction of an 8,000-seater capacity stadium, a construction of waste management plant and regional office for the Youth Employment Authority. Correspondent Peter Seno was with the president and has a wrap of events in the following report.
The two-day working visit by the president to the region saw him visit the Biakuye, Bwem, Nkwanta South and North and the Krachi West constituencies with a regional rally at Dambai in the Krachi East constituency. The president, while in the region, inspected ongoing 56.4 Jasika and Odopepezu road construction, Nkunya Kwame Krum road construction, Paza town roads, and 15 kilometers Ketekrachi town roads. The president, while at Ketekrachi, assured residents of government commitment to construct a bridge on River Oti to reduce travel time and link the peninsular town to urban centers.
Bridge no there. Right now, yeah, design no air cost. I have a baby.
The president equally used the visit to the region to solicit for votes, which would give his government and party another term in office. The president was received at a mammoth rally in Dambai, the regional capital, where he called on supporters to continue to have faith in the party and also reiterated his call on the people in the region who have for the past political years lent their support to the NDC to consider the MPP for once, which he added they would not regret.
The Bayan Mamedada Ubia Wagana, Nema Mikasa Mayan Tumia Maya. Baba says, Sanjidia Wanya Wamimono, Sanjidia Nafidia, and no so to say that 2016. Now, I am about to 2020 India, and yet boom, boom, the outside na fedia me baba sana no manimo se mutra chinye so ase ache ewo TV ye mobilia na manimo misaboka ye hu papa bia chinye na ya mamoa the mesene sa fedia oti region monya mo fa hu dia I don't know, mon facel, mon baby fitting, yen so I say, about the town, so no so, I'm also no so, abba. Now, so no so to me, I'm not T. I am quite I am gig him.
The president also cut short for the construction of 8,000-seater capacity stadium, waste management plant, and regional office for Youth Employment Authority. The president has since left the region for the national capital. Peter Senu for JoyNews.
Now, the Boku Central constituency in the Upper East region has over the years elected members of parliament from different political backgrounds. There was an independent one and then from both the New Patriotic Party and the NDC. Although the parliamentary seat is currently being occupied by Mahama Yariga of the National Democratic Congress as the NDC, it's not so easy to predict exactly how the results of this year's election will pan out. This is due to the number of times the seat has changed hands in the course of the political history of the Boku Central constituency. Ahead of the Joy ballot box, which will be held later tonight, JoyNews' Upper East regional correspondent Albert Sori traces the political history of the constituency.
The Boku Central constituency is located in the eastern part of the Upper East region under the Boku municipality. It has a total population of approximately 120,000 people and is one of the constituencies represented in the Parliament of Ghana. Prior to the 2004 parliamentary election, the Pusiga constituency was carved out of the pre-existing Boko Central constituency in what was then known as the Boko East District. The current constituency is therefore smaller in area than the one that preceded the 2004 election. Between the years 1992 and 2016, the Boko Central constituency has elected their members of parliament first from an independent candidate and then interchangeably from the New Patriotic Party and the National Democratic Congress. In 1992, Madam Hawa Yakubu, now deceased, was elected as the Member of Parliament for Boko Central as an independent candidate. Then, in 1996, Madam Fati Seidu from the NDC was elected the MP. Hawa Yakubu then returned and took back the seat in the 2000 elections, this time not as an independent candidate, but on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party. In the year 2004, the people of Boko Central elected Mahama Ayariga of the NDC as their Member of Parliament and then replaced him in 2008 by electing the MPP's Adamu Dramani Sakande, who recently passed away, as their Member of Parliament. But in July 2012, Adamu Dramani Sakande was jailed 2 years by the Supreme Court of Ghana for forgery. This followed a case brought in 2009 in the High Court by Sumaila Bilbil, a cattle dealer, stating that Adamu Dramani did not qualify to be an MP as he held both a British and Burkinabe passport. After a long legal battle, Adamu Dramani Sakande was on the 27th of July 2012 jailed 2 years by the Supreme Court for false declaration of office, perjury, and deceiving a public officer. In November that year, 4 months after his conviction, Adamu Dramani Sakande was reported sick and admitted at the Cardiothoracic Center of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. He was then granted presidential pardon by President John Mahama on grounds of his ill health. In the general elections that followed later in December that year, Mahama Ayariga was given another nod by the people of Boko Central as he was elected again as their Member of Parliament. Mahama Ayariga was elected for a third term in 2016 and is the incumbent Member of Parliament for Boko Central. But the 2016 election was not without some controversy because the MPP in Boko Central and their parliamentary candidate, Gabiana Agbanwa Abuguri, initially refused to accept the results of the election, citing overvoting among others. They then demanded that the ballots be recounted. Due to the volatile nature of the security atmosphere in Boko at the time, the Upper East Regional Security Council decided that the Boko Central parliamentary election ballots be brought to Bolgatanga for the grievances to be redressed. In the presence of tight security at the Regional House of Chiefs Conference Hall, NDC and MPP election agents spent more than 12 hours debating the issues that were brought by the MPP, with the Electoral Commission serving as a mediator. Eventually, the MPP's election agents decided to budge. In the final results of the 2016 parliamentary election for Boko Central, Mahama Ayariga polled 22,611 votes, representing 51.1%, whilst Gabiana Abuguri polled 21,104 votes, representing 47.7% of total votes cast. This year promises another fierce contest in the parliamentary election in Boko Central. The Joy ballot box will provide a platform for the parliamentary candidates seeking the mandate of the people of Boko Central and surrounding constituencies to explain why they should be given the nod to represent their people in the Parliament of Ghana. For Joy News, Albert Sori, Boko Central.
So later at 5 today, we'll be bringing you the ballot box from the Upper East Region town of Boku, and it's a Joy Ballot Box event. Let's connect with Deputy Head of our political desk, Winston Amwa. Hello, Winston. How is Boku gearing up for tonight's event?
Well, Bernice, everybody in Boku is excited, from the Boku Naba to, Queen Mothers and to political parties as well as the electorates. They're waiting patiently for the aspiring members of Parliament to address their concerns. Now, they have voted, they've told us, the issues that would influence the choices they make, and they're waiting patiently for the aspiring parliamentary candidates to tell them how they intend to address these concerns, Venice.
All right, do you mind sharing with us what some of these concerns are?
Yeah, they've been saying a lot of things, Venice. We've spoken to some of the electors who've complained about their roads. Of course, even with the, when it comes to the roads, that 31.45% of those who voted, that's over 300 of them, say that the roads will be one of the things that would determine how they vote. They've also talked about security. They've talked about education and the economy as well as employment. And so all these factors, among others, are the issues that will be affecting the choices they make and are waiting on their aspiring members of Parliament to address them for them.
So this will be live on Joy 99.7 FM and on the JoyNews channel, on all our social media platforms and myjoyonline.com. But Winston, tell us how the program or the manner in which the program will be conducted and why we should join you.
Well, so this year on your election headquarters, we chose the theme, Informed Electorate. We wanted to give electors a chance to be informed and thus cast their vote based on their informed positions. And so look, if you are one of the electors within these three constituencies, this is a must-watch program. But also, if you are in Accra or other parts of the country, look, I went to Zebula and some of the electors said something. They said, look, we're going to be influenced by three factors, broad factors. One, our constituency, our community. Two, our constituency. And three, the nation. They're talking about issues that also affect the nation. And so it is not all about issues that affect, Boku, Zebula, and the Garo constituencies. But also they're talking about issues that affect the nation. And these members of Parliament, once they get to Parliament, they are not only going to be representing their colleagues also, they're going to be debating policies of government and be making laws. You want to know how they think and thus shape yourself for the sort of contribution that they'll be making once they get to Parliament, Venice. We
know the MP for the area, Mahama Yarika. Who else will be responding to the concerns raised by the residents?
So Mahama Yarika is MP for Boku. He will be here. Agbanwa Gabiana Abugri is the NPP's parliamentary candidate who's also confirmed will be joining us. If you go to the Garo constituency, the incumbent member of Parliament, Albert Alazuga, would be joining us. So is the NPP's parliamentary candidate, Osman Musa. Then in the Zebula constituency, incumbent member of Parliament, Deputy Upper East Regional Minister, Frank Husseini Adongo, will be joining us. So is a former Majority Leader and former Interior Minister, five-time Member of Parliament, Kletos Afoka, who is seeking to get back to Parliament. Also confirmed he'll be joining us.
Great. We'll leave it here. Winston Amwa is Deputy Head of Political Desk here at JoyNews, and just giving us reason to tune in later today at 5 p.m. right here on this channel and on Joy 99.7 FM, our social media platforms, JoyNews on TV, Joy 99.7 FM, and around the world via our online platform, myjoyonline.com, is a program not to miss right here on your election headquarters. You're watching JoyNews today with me, Bernice Abubedulan. So still to come, the Bank of Ghana urges corporate organizations to churn out solutions that support growth of women-led businesses.
NBSSI tells me that 65% of the applicants for these loans were women MSME owners, okay?
We've got details of that shortly here. Do stay. Time now for business news. The second Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Elsie Adoawazi, is urging corporate entities to churn out solutions that support the growth of women-led businesses. Dr. Awazi made this known at the unveiling ceremony of Emerge, a female banking proposition for women entrepreneurs introduced by Absa Ghana.
I'll give you a little bit of data. So NBSSI tells me that 65% of the applicants for these loans were women MSME owners, okay? Yet the value of the loans they applied for were only 48%. So you have 65% of the total number of applicants being women. More women needed loans, but they needed only 48% of the total value. So their male counterparts applied less, but when they asked, they were bold. They wanted more money. This corresponds with the data that shows that most women-owned businesses are small. They don't grow. They stay small forever, while their male counterparts are able to scale up. So this is really the problem that we have before us, which I believe Absa.
Meanwhile, the business banking director of Absa Ghana, Grace ANIM-YEBOAH, says the initiative will significantly empower women entrepreneurs to grow and expand their businesses.
31% of women out of 100 only have bank accounts and therefore have access to finance. There is a huge need, and the need is huge because according to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 5, there is a gap, there is gender inequality, and we want to solve for that. We want to bridge that gender gap. We also want to use this solution to facilitate and help women entrepreneurs to actually generate more employment, because there is a huge unemployment situation in the country that also needs to be solved. Thirdly, the reason for this solution is when we look at even our own statistics and we compare the borrowing population, you realize that the number of women entrepreneurs who borrow is very low. But the reason hindering them from borrowing includes capacity building, it includes business development, it includes even understanding the need to scale your business. And so we are putting all that together in this solution to build up entrepreneurs' capacity, help them get the right structures in their organization, and therefore access funding and also be able to scale and expand the operations. You have heard of the Africa Continental Free Trade. It is an opportunity for Ghanaian entrepreneurs to actually sell not in Ghana alone, but also on the continent. We need to help our women get ready.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the sports segment here on JoyNews today. With me, Oreku Ampofo. We start off from some local stories where the Ghana Football Association has signed an agreement with Decathlon Ghana Limited as its official retail partner for a period of 4 years. According to the partnership agreement, Decathlon Ghana will provide 1,000 Kipstar balls valued at 100,000 and 150,000 Ghana cedis per year till 2024. President of the Ghana Football Association, Kete Kweku, spoke to Joy Sports about the details of this new partnership.
We appreciate the relationship. It's a 4-year relationship that will ensure that Decathlon becomes the official retail partner of the FA. What that means, they'll be responsible for all our merchandising products, and soon the FA will roll out some merchandising products that will ensure that we meet the needs of our consumers. Beyond that, female football gets maximum attention. Footballs is key for the development of football. Okay, so we're going to have 1,000 balls a year over a 4-year tenure, each valued at 150,000 per year. So we have 600,000 Ghana cedis, and other sporting products also to be utilized by female footballers, also valued at 400,000 over 4 years. In total, 1 million Ghana cedis worth of the relationship in monetary terms.
Away from Dinah, independent presidential aspirant Alfred Kwame Walker has revealed his policies for the creative arts industry. Alfred Kwame Walker says he will establish a creative arts campus to train people interested in the creative arts. He also stated that he will establish a board to regulate content on television so that the Ghanaian culture can be portrayed.
Government, on the public-private partnership, must invest in that industry fully. In our policy, we have called for the development of that campus, modeled after some places in the country. I believe the creative art industry will bear witness to it. the entertainment industry, I believe, in Atlanta, most recent. If you help me with the name of the gentleman. Tyra Perry. Tyra Perry single-handedly built an entertainment industry, a production campus in Atlanta. We are all aware of that. The government, this government or our government, should we come to power, we are certainly going to develop that type of campus to allow the young men, able-bodied men, women, creatively to be able to access those equipment and the studios where they are able to, sort of produce. I will touch on the issue of content as well. I believe the government must have a say in what is aired in this country. Decorum must also prevail in our cultural practices. We are not going to allow issues or films or issues that are being shown in this country that are actually affecting our cultural practices. We have films being shown in this country, practices that actually abhor our culture. We are going to try to talk to the entertainment industry so that we can promote them educationally. History, our history must be the issue. Our culture must be paramount in the production issues. Yes, maybe the decadence of that industry, we might have an allocation of timelines. Maybe a pay-per-view. I'm not saying it's a freedom of choice, obviously. Yes, I understand that. But certainly the government has a way and the government has a right to control what is aired in the controlled or the government airwaves for some respect to our culture and the children that are growing up in this country now.
On that note, we end showbiz here on Joy News today. Over to you, Venice.
Hello, Becky. Before you go, please tell us what to expect this weekend on eVibes.
Yes, this weekend, Venice, we're telling the story of Edem, musician Edem, rapper Edem. And there's a lot of interesting things that you should look forward to this Saturday, 8:30 a.m. right before News File. You should make time.
All right, we definitely will make time with you. Thank you so much, Becky.
Anytime.
And that's how we end this edition of News Today with me, Bernice Abubedulan. So there's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. And thanks for your company once again. Please don't go away. The marketplace continues.